When we talk about marketing, many people think about advertising a product or service. But we must not forget that advertising is just a part of marketing. We can say that marketing is the most important department of any business. In 2016, the results of a survey with the participation of 168 large companies showed that they allocated approximately 12% of their total budget to marketing. So what is marketing, and why is it so important? Marketing is the process of creating, introducing, and selling a product or service that has value to potential buyers or society in general. One of the things that we should focus on in this definition of marketing is value creation. This is why market research is so important. As a result of such research, it's possible to find out exactly what kind of product or service people need. After learning the needs of people, we create new value by producing a product or service that will meet that need. Understanding potential customers and creating a product or service that is important to them is one of the points that will bring success to the company in the long run. The fact that $68 billion were spent on market research in 2015, and this figure will increase in the following years, shows how important this nuance is. Continuing with the definition, the next step is to introduce the product. It's clear that advertising is one of the most important parts of marketing. Because without advertising, any product is less likely to be successful in the market. In 2018, the total amount spent on advertising by the 200 largest companies was $163 billion. We can say that these statistics recorded as a result of research conducted in 2019 are proof that advertising is important. You might think that some products become popular with little or no advertising, mostly by people recommending to each other. In fact, this is one of the widespread advertising strategies called word of mouth. Of course, there are many ways you can choose to promote any product or service. For example, you can advertise your company, product, or service on television channels, social networks, billboards, even on buildings and cars. Which advertising strategy you choose depends on the product you offer and the target audience. Finally comes the process of selling the product. A number of components are essential for this process to take place. These are the demand, the product or service that will satisfy the demand, the buyer's consideration of the cost of that product or service, and the agreement between the buyer and the seller. When all these components are present, there's no obstacle for the purchase to take place. Of course, marketing isn't such a simple topic. We couldn't end the video without talking about the 4 Ps and several types of marketing. First, let's talk about 4P, marketing mix. The 4 Ps represent the 4 essential elements of marketing. These are product, price, place, and promotion. The first P, product, is the products or services sold by the company. The purpose of the marketed product should be to fill a gap in the market. In other words, the product or service must meet people's needs. For this, it's necessary to conduct market research and find out exactly what people want and need. The second P represents price. It's clear that the price is the amount to be paid to get the product. But how is this amount determined? In addition to manufacturing costs, marketing and shipping costs must be considered when determining the selling price of a product or service. But this doesn't mean that we can raise the price as much as we want in order to cover all the costs. When determining the price, we should also take into account the price of the alternative products currently on the market. Thus, the product we will sell can join the existing competition. The next P, place, indicates that we have to decide where the product will be sold. Previously, this term meant only the place, but now it includes a different component. When Neil Borden first coined the term 4P in the 1950s, place was simply planning in which region it was most appropriate to launch a product. For example, it would be a more logical step to sell a product that will be used in cotton growing in Texas instead of New York City, because potential buyers are mainly in that region. Today, place mostly represents online or traditional sales. Again, depending on the product being marketed and the shopping habits of the product's potential buyers, you can choose whether to use online or traditional sales methods. Of course, it's possible to do both at the same time. When traditional sales are chosen, it's important to specify the region. The last one is promotion. Promotion includes all PR activities, like advertisements and so on. As we said at the beginning of the video, The introduction of the product or service to be sold is a very important factor. There are a number of different ways to do this. As always, you can advertise on platforms where your target audience is most likely to encounter these ads based on your market research. Finally, let's talk about a few types of marketing that have become more prominent recently. One of them is influencer marketing. Those who are familiar with the word influencer can guess what this marketing strategy is. Influencer refers to people who are loved by a large number of people and have influence over them. Companies following this strategy also try to increase their sales by advertising their products through these people. I should also note that recently, with the development of social networks, the number of influencers is more than before. Even advertising through social media has a large market share. The next type of marketing is viral marketing. If you want to use viral marketing, you need to match your slogan or advertisement with currently trending topics. If you've managed to create a successful viral video, that video has the potential to go viral. This can lead to widespread recognition of your company or the product you sell. Finally, let's talk about keyword marketing. This kind of marketing is related to the online side of the business. By using the right keywords while creating a slogan for your product, you can make your ad appear in front of your targeted audience. SEO, search engine optimization, is one of the new types of marketing. Here too, keywords are very important, because as in keyword marketing, the keywords you choose here also bring you closer to your targeted audience. As I said at the beginning, marketing is one of the most important parts of any business. As you can see, there are many marketing strategies and types you can use. But in your opinion, which of the types of marketing that I just listed is the most successful with the widespread use of social media and the internet in general?